Hey y'all, how are you, my friends? It's been a while. I think this may be my first video since 2026 has started. So I wanted to just let you know why I've been really busy with my real estate work. I've been really busy with my quilting guild. I'm the president of the guild this year, and so it just takes up a lot of my time. And then I've also been reorganizing and cleaning out drawers and closets and rooms in my house, just trying to rearrange things, but getting rid of a lot of just stuff, and quite frankly, my kids are very happy about that because they don't want to have to deal with it one day when I'm no longer around. So it's kind of been freeing. I may do some videos on that. The cleaning out, decluttering basically is what it is. It's amazing how much junk we can collect over the years. But anyhow, tonight I am going to be making a keto-friendly dinner, and I wanted to kind of share with y'all what it's going to be like. I'm going to make burgers with grilled burgers with mushrooms and onions and peppers, and I may add those into a gravy, just depends, but definitely they'll be sauteed in olive oil. And then I'm going to make some mashed cauliflower and have some asparagus, so it should be a really good meal. Hopefully a healthy one. I'm trying to make my own bread. Let me show you. I've been doing my here's partial loaf right here. I've been baking my own bread, and it's turned out so good. I grind the wheat in my Zojirusi machine, and then I make the bread, and it's been really, really fun and good. It's just another way of eating more healthy. If you want to find out where I get the wheat from, just send me a text message, and I'll be glad to share that with you. And let's get started. So what I'm going to be doing first is I bought some pre-cut portobello mushrooms, so I've got those already sliced up, and now I'm going to be slicing up a bell pepper and some onion. So I'll get that started, and then I'll get right back with you. Okay, so I got all of those chopped up and ready, but we're not going to cook them yet. Here's the deal. The hardest part about cooking, I think, especially for new cooks, is learning the timing so that everything gets done around the same time. So you don't want something to cook and get cold while you're just starting to cook something else. So what we're going to have, remember, is asparagus and mashed cauliflower and burgers and sauteed or grilled, however you want to call it, the mushrooms, onions, and bell peppers. So now let's get started with some of the other things so that they can be cooking before we start with the meat. The meat, I think, is going to take the longest, the quickest, I'm sorry. The other stuff will take longer, so I want to get it going so it all kind of gets going at the same time. So let me show you. I'm just going to prep everything first. That's the easiest part, and then we'll get it going. So here we go. I've got some asparagus here, and these are nice big asparagus. Whoa. Camera decided it wanted to go lower than I wanted it to. Not sure what's going on here. I usually don't video straight up and down. I usually video sideways, but someone told me I needed to start doing it this way if I'm going to put it on Instagram or somewhere like that. Anyhow, so you take your asparagus and you just bend it until it pops. Wherever it pops, that is the tender. This is more woody and not as easily edible. So I'm just gonna pop these while I'm talking to you, because the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the cauliflower. And the cauliflower is, that's gonna be pretty easy to do. I'm just going to put it in some salted water and let it steam in that water until it's fork tender, and then it'll be ready to mash. So now I've got the asparagus done. This is just enough for me and Bob. And so what I would normally do is I put a little bit of water in here and a little bit of olive oil. And then as the water goes out, then it kind of sautés in the olive oil that's left, but the water helps it get tender. So I'm gonna fix that and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so hold on a minute. Sorry about that. Okay, so I've got that prepped and ready. There's a little bit of water in here. It doesn't really even cover the asparagus. It's just like in there. And then I put a little bit of olive oil, maybe a tablespoon or two, and I'm gonna put the lid on it. I'm not gonna start it yet, because remember, we want it to be hot. So I'm just gonna have that like that. And then after it gets done, well, when it gets almost tender, I'll take the top off, let that water cook out, and then I'll just add a little bit of butter and some lemon juice to finish it off, and along with some salt and pepper. So that will take care of the asparagus when we start to do it. Now I've got this nice, big, beautiful head of cauliflower. So I'm going to cut these off into little flowerets. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me turn you down. Hold on. Hope I can do it without it going all the way down. Stay still. This camera stand, I don't know. Probably need to tighten something. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in from the back here. And by the way, I've got a bowl here. This is for the chickens. So chickens will love this. And we love it too. I made a really good dish the other day with this cauliflower. It was cauliflower and avocado mixed together, along with some seasonings. And you whip it up, and then you put it back in the avocado shell, and then bake it sort of like a twice baked potato, only it was cauliflower, and so it was delicious. Had bacon in it. Bob really liked it. In fact, when he was eating it, he said, "Oh, you need to video this." I'm like, I've made it twice since then. I never have videoed it, so I'll do that next, maybe. Next time we have it, I will video it for you, I promise. So anyhow, I'm getting these off of here so that you can see I've got a nice flowerette like that. That's kind of a big one, but I think it's fine because it's just gonna be in this pot with some water. I've got another boiler here, and I'm just gonna put these down in the boiler and let them get fork tender. So I'll get the rest of these ready, and then we'll make the burgers, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is all that was left of the cauliflower after I cut everything off. And I've got the cauliflower over here in the pot on the stove. Let me see. You can see it here. This is it. And it's not completely covered with the water because I want it to kind of steam in there. And I'll drain the water off, actually, whatever is left in there. So now I want to get started with the burgers. And I've got a pound, it's just a little bit over a pound of ground sirloin here. I don't know if y'all have ever tried these little bowls. This is a dollar store, okay? The dollar store. It might have been Dollar General, I don't know. Anyhow, it's $1 and a half at the most. I have a ton of them, and I use them for everything. You can see that's what the chicken food is in. This is what I'm going to put the meat in here, and I'm going to mix it in this bowl. So, and I'm gonna use the mixers that God gave me, these hands. So I always add some garlic powder to the meat. So I'm adding about a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of salt. You can do that according to what, you know, some people can't have much salt, so you can add it or not add it. And I'm gonna add about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. So get all that going. I'm gonna mix it up and put it into patties and have those ready. So once I get those done, I will show you what we're gonna do over here at the stove. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've got the eyes are turned on underneath the cauliflower and the asparagus. In fact, the asparagus is already bubbling away here. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. And this is not quite boiling yet, but it's getting close. Altogether, I've spent about 20 minutes prepping all of this stuff. So, but it's gonna cook up fairly quickly. So now what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of olive oil in my pan here, my skillet. And then I'm just gonna smear it around a little bit. And this is going to be where I'm going to cook the burgers. I'm cooking them first so that I can have what's left in the pan after they cook. That will be good mixed in with the vegetables to make the gravy as well. So, all right, I got that all smeared around. Got the fire under here, getting it nice and hot. You want it to be kind of hot enough so that when you put the meat in, it's going to sizzle and sear that outside a little bit. Just makes the burgers that much better. So it's not quite there, but it's getting there. So I don't know if y'all know it or not, but my daughter has published her 3rd devotional book now. So if you want to get it, it's out there on Amazon. It's Daily Word with Jennifer, Volume 3. So Volume 1 and 2 are there as well, but Volume 3 is her newest one, and it's really good. I'm getting a lot of good feedback from my friends who are reading it and saying how much they enjoy it. So, okay, I think this might be hot enough now. So I'm just going to put one in and we'll see if it sizzles at all. No, doesn't sizzle. So let's let it keep getting hotter. The asparagus is doing really good here. So I'm going to get a fork and see how tender it's getting. It's just starting to let me put the fork in, so I'm going to let it stay covered for a while and let it just keep boiling in that water and olive oil. All right, this ought to be ready now. I'm just going to put it in there, ready or not. Not a big sizzle, but it's getting close. So we'll cook those up, and then when they're done, I'm gonna cook them so that they're really done. And then I'll put them out on a plate, and then we'll cook the vegetables in there and add some other things to make a nice gravy. Then we'll put the burgers back in the gravy. And that gravy will be good on top of the mashed cauliflower as well. So I'll be back with you in just a few minutes. Okay, so I want you to see these burgers are at 165, almost like 170, so they're ready. The juices are running out clear, and that was my little trick for holding the thermometer it was too hot for my hand. So now I'm going to take these up and throw the vegetables in. Let me get a plate. Those on real quick. Okay, so I'm just gonna toss these up on a plate for now and throw in all these vegetables. Let them cook down. In the meantime, I want you to see that I'll add a little bit more olive oil in here. Just gonna let those cook. And I want you to see the asparagus. So I'm gonna bring it over here. Hold on. This asparagus is ready. Oh, that top is hot. Hold on a minute. Okay, this asparagus is ready. So now I'm just going to, you can see how tender it is. I mean, it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to add in the butter and see how tender that is. Now I'm going to add in the butter and the lemon juice and just let that stay nice and hot. Let me sit you down while I do that. Hold on a second. And I'm just going to just squeeze it over it like that. And then throw in a good chunk of butter. Probably about a tablespoon of butter. And then put the top back on it. Just let it sit here and chill out. Now the cauliflower is also fork tender. Let me get you over here so you can see that. I can see it, but you can't. Hold on. All right, this cauliflower is nice and fork tender now too. So I'm going to get most of the water drained out of that, and then I'm going to use my immersion blender to blend it up and make some mashed cauliflower. Now, I'll do that in a second because I don't want it to get cold. So I'm going to be finishing up these vegetables and the gravy, and then we'll whip up the. So I'm going to add in a little bit of garlic in here. This is just minced garlic. Use 1 tablespoon of that. And you can see these vegetables give off juices down in here, so that helps me be able to scrape up the goody stuff in the bottom. As soon as they get tender enough, I'm going to add some other juice in here, which will even help me scrape it up a little bit more. You can see how they're starting to turn these pretty shades of brown, the onions are. Just soaking up those drippings from the burgers. Add a little salt and pepper into that. Oh, this one got some right here. A little pinch of salt and some pepper. You can see how that stuff down the bottom, I think you can see it, is coming up. Let me see if I can move you a little closer. Get some of this stuff out of the way. So you can see better now. Some big old mushrooms in there. The portobello mushrooms are really good. And what I'm going to be adding is a little bit of Worcestershire and some beef broth. And then it's probably not keto, but it is gluten-free. I'm going to use some cornstarch to help thicken it up, which will add nice thickness to a beefy flavored gravy. So vegetables are getting really close to being tender. The onions are getting translucent, as you can see. I'm gonna let that just saute for a minute and let me get my juices ready. Okay, I'm back. I've taken 1 cup of beef broth, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. And I'm just going to pour this in here now. Hopefully that'll thicken up nicely. Also make it where I can scrape up some more of this stuff off the bottom. You can see how it's coming up now. I'm probably going to add a little bit more beef broth because I don't want it to be too thick. You never know till you try it. But you can see how it's getting all that stuff off the bottom. So all that flavor is in the gravy now. There's our good gravy to go on with our burgers. And so now I'm just going to put the burgers back in here. And flip them over so that they're coated nice. So there's our hamburgers with mushroom, pepper, and onion gravy. So that is ready. Just put those juices in there too. And now I'm going to whip up these potatoes. I mean cauliflower, mashed cauliflower, not potatoes. So let me just drain a little water off of this. Right here in the sink. I'll be right back. Hold on a second, I'm gonna get my immersion blender. Okay, I moved these over to this burner so you'd be able to see them. The burners are all off. And I put a big tablespoon of butter down in here. It's melting now. And I sprinkled it with a little more salt. So I'm going to just use my immersion blender. I don't know if y'all have ever used one of these, but they're great. You just, especially when things are this tender. I've used it in bean soup. You can see how good it mashes this up. I'm going to add a little bit of whipping cream in here because I think that just adds a little richness to it. Should have measured this first, but I'm just going to eyeball a little bit here. See how that does. Good. These really look like mashed potatoes. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can always just put them in your normal blender. I'm going to take a little taste and see how these feel and taste. They're perfect. They're going to be great with that gravy on top of it. So this is just simple meal, but very healthy. And I made it all in under an hour. So you might could make some of it ahead. It's up to you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please follow, click like, or do whatever, and follow my channel. I also put it out on YouTube. I'll have it on Facebook, and I'm gonna try to put it on Instagram, maybe even TikTok. I don't know. I'll just see where all I can put it. Anyhow, love y'all. Have a great day.